In the business world right now, we are in what I call launch and event season. You literally can't go past 2 posts before you see a promotion for another free masterclass or women's event summit, etc. And while those things are really powerful, there is something that I see consistently across the board as to why it's not helping you in the way that you think it might. When we binge podcast episodes and attend these events or master classes, the thing is that sneaky thought is, I have everything I need now to go and implement. But here's where you're wrong. When you go off and try to go at it alone with simply the information that you have received, you're trying to solve the same problem that you went to the event for with the same brain that created it. And unless you do something different, the results are probably going to be the same. Because here's the thing, it's not just strategy. Because strategy only works when it's applied to the right problem. And here's the thing, you don't know what your problem is yet. I'll never forget, a few years ago, I invested in a coaching program after attending a masterclass about how to sell on stories, okay? The thing is, I didn't actually need the strategy to learn how to sell on stories. What I actually needed to understand was my offer and how it helped people and what the messaging was that my client needed to hear in order to take action. It wasn't just, here, post, these 3 days with this exact hook and this exact prompt. That wasn't what I needed. What I needed was more granular, was deeper than that. And it's why when I enrolled in that program, it didn't work for me because I was applying the strategy to the wrong problem. A lot of the women who I first start chatting with who are interested in, growing their business think, I need more leads. The thing is, leads don't help you unless you have a really good offer. And creating more content to get more followers doesn't help you unless you have a way for your followers to go deeper inside of your world. Confidence doesn't help you if you don't have a way of clearly articulating what it is that you do and how you help people. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of the things out there, whether it's these masterclasses or events, are teaching you lead strategy, content strategy, have more confidence, but that's not actually what it is that you need. This next kind of thing that I've identified is for all my Manny Gens. I feel really bad for you, Manny Gens, if I'm being honest. You guys have 1,000 ideas going all of the time. So for all of my squirrel brains who love information and going to these events and listening to podcasts and downloading all these lead magnets, and you get so excited, the problem is you have too many ideas. And that is another issue when you're trying to go at this alone, is that you've just collected all of this data, which has made your decision fatigue even worse. So what's happening now is you are reworking your Instagram bio. You are trying to figure out a trial reels strategy. You are getting into email marketing. You are trying to launch a group program or a course that just sells on its own without needing you. Potentially, you are maybe going to start a YouTube channel, right? All of those things are amazing, individual, and each of those strategies actually needs your full energy. And so when you stop trying to do everything alone and everything at once, you will see a massive uptick in your the way people receive what it is you're saying and doing, because you're not diluting your energy and just doing half-ass things in a lot of places. You're doing a full-ass thing in 1 or 2 places. So again, your business doesn't need 12 steps. It needs one next step. The other thing that I see that happens during this kind of launch and event and masterclass craze season is that you are trying to self-diagnose. And when we self-diagnose, we tend to pick the safest option. And sometimes picking the safest option is exactly what we need. But that's what having an experienced coach or community is really valuable for, because you can kind of say, all right, guys, am I staying safe here, or is this a good strategic move so that I can have bandwidth to do something else? But when you are just trying to figure it out all by yourself, it can feel extremely isolating, as well as, well, I'm just going to, create a new reel because that feels easier for me than, personally messaging all of these people to follow up with them or to start a conversation, right? It feels easier just to make the reel. Or maybe it just feels safer for you to create an entirely new offer because it feels too risky to ask your community to buy the one you actually have and to get better at the thing that's already sitting in front of you. So don't make that mistake. Don't make that mistake of just constantly trying to figure this out and navigate it alone. You really do need kind of the experience and guidance of someone who's maybe been here before and has your goals in mind to get you to the next step, or some kind of mentor or community. There's a reason if you have been feeling stuck in business for a while, there's a reason for that. It's because you've created this own little vacuum and bubble. And again, the same brain, yours, that got you here is the same one that's trying to figure out how to get you out. And you just can't see the things that you haven't been taught to see yet. And I know I just talked a lot about having the right support, but women, especially all of you high achievers and ambitious women, and I know that's who listen to this podcast, you resist having support. You have identified that having support means something about you, that you're weak or not smart enough to figure it out, or it's too expensive and I don't want to pay for it. And it's that mentality that's actually keeping you at this level that you so desperately say that you want to break away from. So having the right support, the right community, the right container is not about saving you. It is about helping you sort through the chaos, the pile, the thing that's sitting in front of you so that you can easily have a pathway to get there. You still have to do the work. You still have to implement. But now you're implementing on the right things and you've put the pieces in order. That's the other thing, right? Even if you have a plan, oftentimes you're focusing on the thing that really needed to be step 4 or 5 instead of step 1 or 2. So when you have the right support and you kind of release that thought that asking for help means something about you, again, watch what happens inside of your life and business. It will be a massive uptick in your success trajectory, whether that's monetarily or just fulfillment overall, because now you're getting to do more of what it is of why you got into business in the first place. And this last kind of thought that I have about, attending free masterclasses and listening to podcasts and just kind of being in the information intake place is costing you. It is costing you so much to stay here and to just take in information rather than taking action. The cost is not just money. It's also time. It's also bandwidth and energy. And it's costing you that next 3 months of staying here when you could be getting closer to there, right? And so I really want to encourage you during this season where you are tempted to take in free information to actually do something with it. This is what I am probably the most passionate about, and I would say as a coach is my biggest skill, is helping you understand what are the actual things you need to be paying attention to and doing to get where you want to go. I have yet for someone to come to me with a goal and I have heard some really crazy, amazing goals in my career as a coach. I have yet to say something like, that's too crazy. We can't get there. There is absolutely no way. That's not up to me. I know that if you believe that it's possible for you and it's something you want, we need to create a plan that makes sense for you to get there. And I'm like willing to bet that doesn't mean for you to learn more. I'm willing to bet that it doesn't mean to go get more strategy. Where we start is with a plan and with this, the mindset. One of the best ways to kind of kick this off is to join a coaching program, of course. I recommend coming to something like the retreats that I build. And I said like the retreats, but you know what? I can't speak for someone else's experience. I'm talking about come to my retreats. These weekend business retreats that I create are to help you do the opposite of all those things I just told you that I see going wrong. It's not only going to help you get out of the environment that you've been stuck in, the environment with the constant things that you have to take care of and the people that need you, and you're putting yourself in a weakened container where you are the priority. You are fed. There's a roof over your head. There's incredibly good energy. We eat well, we laugh. So the environment is conducive to creativity and feeling safe to open up to the possibility of doing something new. Because that's the other thing. When you're talking about getting to a goal where you've never been, it needs to feel safe enough for you to get there. So when you put yourself in an environment where you see other people doing it too, and it's relaxed, you're like, okay, now my brain can open up and feel like ready to take action. The other thing we make sure we do is we actually lay out a plan for you. So you're not just like leaving the weekend again with all of these ideas. You have a plan for you with your ideas and the things that you need to do in order to get where you want to go. And the most valuable thing that you get from leaving your home and putting yourself in an experience like this is relationships that will last you a lifetime. The women inside of this community are truly gems. And it'll be people that you can lean on in the hardest of times that understand where it is that you're coming from and the things that you need to help you get where you want to go. I know that one of the hardest parts for me when I was building a business is that, I have sometimes people around me that don't see the vision, and that's okay. Like, you don't need to understand where I'm going, girl. What I really just need is support. But the difference is when you're in a community like the Beam Life and at a retreat is that no one there thinks you're crazy. No one there thinks your dreams are too big. No one there is like, oh my gosh, that is bad to talk about money and wanting to be successful. That's not the kind of thing that happens there. You leave with so much clarity and just a handful of new business besties that are going to support you along the journey. And that is the most valuable thing that I think any of us can have in this journey of solopreneurship. So anyway, I hope that, these little advice and things can be helpful as you are going to events and considering what to learn and what to spend your time on. What you actually need is integration and community and a way to take what it is you already know and monetize it. So if that's something you're interested in, the Beam offline retreat is happening October 15th through the 18th here in Southern California. It's a very intimate group group of women. We all stay together in an Airbnb. And like I said, you are fed, you are coached, you are nourished. There is laughter and play and so much goodness and lots of secrets that I just can't talk about because what happens at the Beam Offline Retreat stays at the Beam Offline Retreat. You only know if you get there. So hope to see you there. The link to join us is down below. And as always, you can DM me at the Beam Life if you have any questions about if this is the right fit for you. All right, y'all, go out, be productive, don't stay in busy, and go and change the world with all the amazing things that I know you love and know how to do. See you back here next week. If this episode inspired you, please share it with a business bestie or on your social channels by tagging me at The Beam Life.